Hey everybody, I'm about to teach you how to write your own workout program from home, whatever you have. Let's jump in. Today I wanted to teach you how to write your own program. Now there's a bunch of steps, so if you have any questions, drop them below, and I'll try to list out some basic stuff in the comments as well. But this is for a generic program. This doesn't work for everybody, but if you have general fitness goals like to lose weight, gain muscle, etc., this is a good plan to follow for writing your plan. Okay, let's jump in. So again, this is a general things you need to do to write a plan. Number one, you need to establish your goal. If you don't have a goal for what you're working towards, then you won't be able to write a good plan. What I mean by that specifically is you can't just say I want to lose weight, because that's not general. That's very general, it's not specific. If you want a goal, an example goal would be I want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months. Or an example goal would be I want to gain 10 pounds of muscle in 4 months. Those are good goals, something that you can keep your mind on. Or example, I want to run a marathon by January. Or something like that. Specific goals with a time frame is the type of goal you want. Specific, measurable, etc. Very important. So that's number one, establish your goal. With the goal, I also encourage my clients to have a picture, something they can see and work towards. I also encourage them to write it down and look at it every single day to really get it solidified in your mind that that's what you're working towards, because along the journey, even if you have a great workout program, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful if you can't see it. Seeing it on the hard days where you don't want to work out is a great way to really push yourself and to push yourself through that threshold of not wanting to do it. Because there's days that I don't want to work out, I constantly want to work out, it's there. You got to push through and work towards your goal. So, number two is you need to determine how often you want to work out. Some people only want to work out 2 or 3 times a day. Some people want to work out 7 times a week. It really just depends upon you, but keep in mind that this needs to be according to your goal. So if your goal is you want to run a marathon in 2 to 3 months, this is going to have to be pretty consistent cardio most days of the week. If you want to build muscle but you have a year to do it, you can work out less, things like that. Think out how many days you want to work out. I usually work out 6 days a week, that's what works for me, but something else may work out for you. Once you determine the days you want to work out, it's important to determine your training days. So for example, here's a brief breakdown. If I'm going to lift 3 days a week, and I'm going to do cardio 2 days a week, because remember, lifting weights is super important, I don't care who you are. I would lift, let's just say Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I do cardio Wednesday and Friday, and I rest on Saturday and Sunday. That's a pretty typical workout program. You can mix your cardio days and your lift days if you want. I don't recommend mixing leg day and cardios. It just doesn't go on normally, but you can. And then also, once you break that down, you also need to determine what those days are going to be. So if I'm doing, I like to break up my weeks. I'll usually lift 6 days a week. I'll do upper body, front 2 days a week. I'll do upper body, back 2 days a week. And I'll do legs 2 days a week, abs mixed in completely. That's what works for me. If something else works for you, that's great. Just pick out when you're going to do your exercises. Some people do push-pull one day. Some people do like back, thighs, and tris one day. It just depends on you, your goal, and what you're working towards. So once you determine your goal, how often you're going to work out, the days, and what you're going to do on those days for working out, you need to put together an exercise program. An exercise program needs to complement each other, needs to complement itself, but you also have to keep in mind that you can't have things cross. You need to give your muscles time to break. So unless you're doing a superset, which is an exercise back-to-back, you shouldn't have a curl. You shouldn't be doing a hammer curl set and then do a bicep curl set back-to-back because you're overworking those muscles. You should give exercises in between or rest in between these exercises to make sure your muscles have time to recover. So that's important, but you pick the exercises you want along with your rep count. So I usually recommend 3 to 5 sets for most things. And on those 3 to 5 sets, this is a breakdown for reps. If you're trying to build strength, trying to get a lot stronger, it's supposed to be an H there. If you're trying to build strength, then you want to do 1 to 5 reps, and I'd recommend 4 sets at least. If you're trying to build muscle, I'd recommend 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 12 reps. This is general, guys, remember that. If you're trying to build endurance, really try to kind of burn some fat, make those strong, long muscles, you want to do 15 plus reps, 3 to 4 sets on there. After you figure out how many sets you're going to do and reps, you need to determine your exercises. I recommend at least 2 to 3 exercises per muscle group. So if I'm working specifically with my biceps, I choose 2 to 4 exercises for my biceps for that workout for that day. Triceps, etc., same thing. You can get into targeting specific individual muscles, but that's a little more complicated and that's a different video. In this video, you just want to pick 2 to 3 exercises per muscle group and break those up. Of course, you wouldn't want to do biceps and chest. You want to do bicep exercises and then separate chest exercises. You shouldn't just do entire groups unless you're doing a heavy mechanical exercise like a deadlift or something like that, which is a lot of muscle groups, which counts. Hope I didn't confuse you in there. Let me know if I did. But yeah, so reps and sets going into picking your exercise, 2 to 4 exercises per group. Next steps, most people forget these 2 next steps, and it's super important. These are probably, other than setting the goal, the most important steps. You need to have a strong warm-up and cool down for your workout program. People skip these all the time, and I would say at least 80% of injuries in the gym are caused by people not doing their warm-ups and cool downs, and you just can't have that, guys. You have to do your warm-ups and cool downs if you want to get lasting results and you don't want to hurt yourself. A warm-up doesn't have to be 30 minutes. A warm-up can be literally, if I'm doing an upper body workout, particularly chest or arm, I'm going to do 3 sets of 20 push-ups just to get my rotators warmed up, my shoulders, my chest, my arms warmed up for that exercise. It doesn't have to be crazy. Cool down doesn't have to be more than 5 to 10 minutes. Do a light dumbbell set, walk for a little bit, move those arms. Stretching is a good cool down. As long as you're still moving and still slowly deactivating your muscle groups. And the last one, which so many people forget, but is so important, is write down your workout plan, guys. I recommend at least writing down a week's worth at a time. You can do a day, but the problem with doing a day is you'll get lazy and just not do it. Write down your workout program. I understand you can make it in your mind and you're really smart. Cool, do that. Put it down on paper too. Because when you're in the gym, on the days you don't want to be there, if you aren't consistent and if you aren't following a piece of paper and saying, I have to do all of these, then you will cut it short in your mind and you'll be limiting your results. Quick overview again, just to break it all down. How to build your own workout program. Set a strong motivational goal that you want to work towards. I encourage having a picture, a time frame, and a way to do it. Number 2, how often should you work out? How often should you work out? That determines on you. You need to determine that before you start. How often you're going to, planning your schedule, time, etc. Number 3 is your training days. What days are you going to train? What days are you going to rest? And what are you going to do on those training days? How many sets and reps are you going to do? Again, I recommend 2 to 4 sets. And remember, on the reps, it's strength is 1 to 5 reps. Building muscles is 6 to 12 reps. Endurance is 15 plus reps. And it's a general program, remember that. Then you need to pick your exercises. 2 to 4 exercises per muscle group as I recommend, generally. Have a good warm-up and cool down, otherwise you're going to injure yourself. And lastly, make sure you write down your goals. That's super important. If you don't write it down, then you may not get results at all. And you'll just skip it. Keep that in mind. Thanks for checking out this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Please